side as well.
Okay. He's, you know, being evicted from his residence. He's, I guess, yeah, well to be expected.
That's what my father said so many years ago when I was a kid. He said, "Why will capitalism always survive?" And his answer, because it'll always make socialism save it.
We stood up to Monsanto, and it went to trial. It ended up in the Supreme Court of Canada, where everything they came after me, they lost. They lost the case, but the Supreme Court ruled that Monsanto's patent on a gene is valid. It doesn't matter how it ends up in any life form, they own and control it. And that was a startling decision.
These graphic images videotaped by the Humane Society at a Southern California slaughterhouse are now prompting the largest beef recall in U.S. history. A cow pushed with a forklift, another dragged with a chain, animals too sick to walk are ultimately killed and their meat processed.
Governor Scott Walker has taken a principled stand to fight for fiscal sanity in Wisconsin. He knows we must end the out-of-control debt that was run up by irresponsible politicians. But now, labor union mobs led by Barack Obama's Organizing for America are trying to intimidate and harass Governor Walker and lawmakers in Madison.
Texas legislature was facing a $10 billion budget shortfall. And rather than raising taxes, legislators sought to reduce spending wherever they could. And one way they did so was by deregulating tuition.
The challenge to the president's health care law officially reaches the highest court in the land. A petition filed yesterday asking the Supreme Court justices to take up the case.
Tech surveillance networks are providing police and government the ability to monitor streets, parks, and businesses like never before.
John Daly checked out a new system in Sandy. Police call it a deterrent to crime. Others say it's an invasion of privacy.
Side effects may include dry mouth, insomnia, sexual side effects, diarrhea, nausea, and sleepiness.
To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours.
Our team wants to cut spending in a real way, and it's time to get to work.
But what I find interesting about that bragging is, look, 231 House Republicans voted yesterday for a bill to cut $4 billion from the federal budget, right? But before that vote, there was this vote to end oil subsidies. Now, voting for this bill, according to Congressman Markey's office, would have saved $30 billion over the next decade. Republican votes in favor? 0. That's right. Nada. Not one individual. The Times had original reporting on this. It's about Rick Perry's donors in Texas, and what do they get in return? Well, first of all, he got $37 million worth of contributions from just 150 individuals and couples. So it gives you a sense that a small group of people have given a gigantic sum of money to Rick Perry.
In 1996, electric cars began to appear on roads all over California. They were quiet and fast, produced no exhaust, and ran without gasoline. 10 years later, these futuristic cars were almost entirely gone.
Lovenox has earned its maker, the French company Sanofi, more than $2 billion a year. So when the FDA began considering a cheaper, generic version of the costly drug in 2007, Sanofi sprang into action to try and slow the process.
It's not outrageous, and frankly, better find ways to stop it.
Senator Max Baucus chairs the Senate Finance Committee, which issued a report last week accusing Sanofi of paying off doctors to lobby the FDA against generics.
This video was shot by the local parish government in South Pass. When we tried to reach the beach, seen here and covered in oil, a boat of BP contractors with 2 Coast Guard officers on board told us to turn around under threat of arrest.
This is not ours.
I think the environmental impact of this disaster is likely to have been very, very modest. It's impossible to say, and we will mount, as part of the aftermath, a very detailed environmental assessment as we go forward. We're going to do that with some of the science institutions in the US.
The Alabama Press Register reports that for the last few weeks, BP has been offering signing bonuses and lucrative pay to prominent scientists from public universities around the Gulf Coast to aid its defense against spill litigation. BP plc attempted to hire the entire Marine Sciences Department at one Alabama university, according to scientists involved in discussions with the company's lawyers.
You have to realize that Obama is no different than Jeremiah Wright Jr., the NAACP and others. They hate white Americans. They especially hate the white man and what they want to do. That's why Obama said that he believed in the redistribution of wealth, because they want to take the power away from the quote-unquote white man and give it to the people who they think deserve it, and it's the people of color.
Well, I don't know that clearly that there's no diversity. There isn't, but it's not like anyone's being held back from being here.
The most courageous individuals in the United States of America at this time in our political family are African American descendants of slaves who are committed conservatives.
Hundreds of employees of the notorious security contractor Blackwater have worked in Iraq after they were barred from operating in the country. A U.S. diplomatic cable shows the Blackwater guards were kept working with other firms in Iraq. The cable has been leaked by the whistleblower website WikiLeaks.